whilst things are looking particularly good on the pitch, off the pitch, it's rather like looking at a speeding train as it hurtles towards a cliff face. Disaster upon disaster waiting to happen. And with 5 more key players unhappy and wanting to leave in the winter, I have a serious problem again. And I feel like I need to outthink the game. I need your help and suggestions, guys. How can we outthink this game? Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Road to Glory Part 8 Season 2 here at Benfica. And as you can see on the pitch, we are doing extremely well. We have played 5, we have won 5, and we have 15 points. We are the only team that remain unbeaten in the Portuguese league. But all that is due to change, I think, very soon. Off the field, it remains a shambles, and it is becoming more and more difficult to manage this club week by week, both with the players who want to leave and the financial problems that this club has. And today we will be playing 2 games. We'll be playing our opening game in the Champions League at home to Celtic, and then we will follow that with a game against Santa Clara, who are in 6th position in the league, but it is a game that we should be comfortable in winning. But before we go into all those shenanigans on and off the pitch, if you are brand new to the channel and you love FM content and you just love to see people suffering playing this game, and boy are we suffering at the moment, then you are in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling above me. So let's have a look at what's happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And when you were last with us, you saw us beat Porto by 3-0, and we followed that with an equally good 3-0 away victory at Vizela, and then we beat Chaves at home by 2-0. Tondela put up very little resistance as we beat them by 2-0, and more recently we've beaten Amora away by 1-0. In this game, because of the Celtic game, I decided just to field these young boys to see how they would get on. It's a game we should have won much more comfortably than we did, and we were lucky to score late on, and I think it's just showing me that the young boys are not good enough to be champions of this league. However, that does mean that we will have a fit first team for the game against Celtic, albeit that many of them are unhappy, and that may count against us. And then against Santa Clara, we may well rotate again and try out these young boys again. I'm yet to make that decision. Off the field, the problems are just mounting, and we did have several offers coming in after the transfer window had closed from clubs in England, which I've never been able to do when I've been managing in England. But now we have 3 unhappy players who desperately want to leave. Morata wants to leave, he wants to join Chelsea, and it does seem like I'll be powerless to stop him going in the winter. Hugo Novoa is very unhappy as I failed to keep my promise to sell him in the window. It never occurred to me because nobody came in for him, but he is now extremely unhappy, and I've had to make a promise to him that he will leave in the winter. And then Liverpool came in with a bid after the window had shut for Rafael Luis, and that made him very unhappy that I refused to let him go after the window had shut. And following what happened last year to my main centre-back who left in November, I'm not willing to press that sell button in case they are allowed for some reason to take players from Benfica outside of transfer windows. So I've made a promise to him that I will strengthen the first team squad. Now I could use this to my advantage, I suppose, because in terms of money, I do have 29 million in the transfer budget, and I have plenty of wage budget with which to play. And this financial fair play note is what happens is before the transfer window it will turn red, or just after the transfer window opens it will turn red, which means that we'll be projected to make too much of a loss over the next 3 years. After the transfer window has closed, it will usually turn green, which is why it is green at the moment. And so I cannot make signings during transfer windows. Now, the the only thing I can think of to do is to try and outfox the game, and that would be to strengthen the game before the transfer window opens. And then, unbeknown to Rafael Luis, what I could do is sign a central midfielder to strengthen the squad, so that when a bid comes in from Liverpool again in the winter, I can just let him go because I have got somebody in to replace him. With that 40 odd million, then I can get a winger in or a striker to replace Novoa, because he is playing as my striker now. And I may have a few quid to replace Morato when he goes. The only other problem that I can foresee is that I have a number of other players who are fairly unhappy because they want to leave. Players like Hueg, Facundo Torres, Ez Abde is also wanted and wants to leave, and many, many others. The squad is getting decimated. Zolis is also wanted. He also wants to leave and go and join a stronger club. And I don't really know how to combat this when I can't make any transfers in the transfer window because of the financial fair play regulations. Any suggestions that you guys have to actually solve this problem will be gratefully received, and I will think very carefully about any suggestions you guys have. I have a big problem to solve here, and every transfer window, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. At the moment, I have an unhappy team going into our first game in the Champions League phase against Celtic. I've just got to hope that their morale doesn't drag the performance down. What I do know is that we've struggled to score goals of late, and this is something that worries me a great deal. All that we can do, though, is set the team up, send them out, see how they get on. It's not going to be easy against Celtic. This is a very, very tough game. I suspect it might end in a draw. Let's go and kick some balls. And so the team for today against Celtic is Grbic in goal, with Mela, Rodriguez, Morato and Mendy at the back. Luis, Palacios, Hueg in midfield, with Torres, Zolis and Novoa up front. And unlike the board, unlike these supporters, I don't feel very confident. I'm going to stay attacking. We have to attack. That's what we do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I am fearful that this team have just lost their morale, that the players who want to leave are just not with this club anymore. And I also fear that my time at Benfica might be over. And if we don't win this game, then we are going to be in serious trouble. I am going to be facing serious repercussions. But if the players are not with the club anymore, then what can I do? I might have to just decide, okay, we're just going to play the youngsters and sell all these boys. But we do have the ball. We've hit the crossbar and it comes to nothing. And it is Celtic who are going to break. We are playing attacking and we are vulnerable to the counter-attack. They are a very good team, Celtic. We have to believe we are better than the Scottish champions, and we have to believe that we are good enough to beat them. And we do have to play well, though, in order to do that. This is not one of our Sunday league games that we play in our championship. This is a big game. And here is Torres bursting up the right. He's a good player. He needs a big game today. Finds back to Rafael Luis. Luis inside to Torres. Torres has put one in. It is Benfica 1, Celtic 0. And that is a start that I wanted. I wanted us to go ahead, to stay positive, and well done to Torres. He just did that on his own. Rafael Luis found him after his great run and a beautiful shot from the 6-yard box. And it is now 1-0 Benfica, and we are in front. And that is the start that I wanted. We just need to maintain this and keep it up. Can we do it? And it would be great if we can do it. I think we play Real Madrid in our next fixture, and so we need to win our opening game. Celtic we should be beating. It is a corner, and Torres swings the corner to the far post, and Morato has headed it in at the far post. It's Benfica 2, Celtic 0. And I'm wondering, should I come back off the positive mentality, just come down a little bit now to a more balanced approach? It was a beautiful header at the back post. Morato playing well, and I like to see that. He's not happy in this team, but it's nice to see that on the pitch he's actually doing his part. I have to believe this is the best team that I have. Celtic are tiring, which is good news. I just also need to keep an eye on them. They're not really threatening us in any way. We have dominated this football match. 63% possession. We have had 16 opportunities, 7 on target, and Celtic have had just the one chance. We are 2-0 up. We are dominating this game. Match momentum is all with us. This is how it should be. And I need to just tell them, and we deserve to be ahead. But I think that I need to tell them it's important that we stay focused in the second half. Let's not give anything away at the beginning of the second half. Let's not let them back into the game. It's Benfica 2, Celtic 0, and the second half has begun as the first half ended. We are in control of this game, and it does look like we are tiring. Celtic are tiring a great deal. Maybe it's time to go and make a few changes now, because we do have 1 or 2 tired players on the pitch. And so we have made a couple of changes. We have brought on Neres, Eze Abdu, and we have brought on Gedson Fernandez. And there's a free kick that flies past the post. It was close to being 3-0. We have dominated this game so much. It would be a travesty if we actually let it go now. And time is coming to a close. Maybe it is time to make my final 2 changes. And so we have made our final 2 changes. They of course won't take effect until after this highlight is done. And that ball goes all the way through to Gurbic. Can we build from the back here? Can we find a third goal? And it is Morata on the ball. He's had a good game today. And here is Gurbic. Gurbic finds Rodriguez playing it around at the back. I don't know if I want to do that. Celtic are going to score, and I think what I might do is take the boys off this play out of defence. I don't think that is a good idea. Celtic are pressing a great deal in the second half, and I think that it's very important we don't try to play the ball around like that and give them opportunities. However, they didn't score, thankfully, and it remains Benfica 2, Celtic 0. We'll take a victory in our opening game, and because Real Madrid, I think, is next up, and we'll probably not get anything out of that game. But we have totally dominated Celtic. We deserve to win, and that is a good result. And I'm going to say nice work, everyone. It was very good victory. And so we have made a good start to today's episode and to our Champions League campaign. And we will march on. And we have to get the boys ready for the next game, which will be against Santa Clara, and we will play that on the Saturday. We will rest the boys for a day, but I probably will rotate the team a little bit to give some boys a break. So I need to get the team ready for that game in the league. Let's hope we can go 6 out of 6 in the league. It will be the perfect episode. We will see you very soon. And so the team for today against Santa Clara is a very rotated team, and in fact I've dropped Gurbic, and Alvarez will start in goal with Injai and Baird playing as the fullbacks. Rodriguez and Andres Fernandez are young find this season. He makes his first start at centre-back. Palacios and Luis will play in midfield alongside David Neres on the right, and Sanremat, Zolis and Torres will get their chance up front. Have to rotate, have to rest the squad a little bit. I don't think the players are too happy with the squad selection, with the team selection, but I think it's a good enough team. We should be beating these teams, and we should actually be going back to the top. Porto have recently gone to the top of the league, having beaten Rio Ave by 3-0 earlier. We need to make sure we win this game. Even though it's a rotated team, it is a team good enough to win this game. We are attacking them. We do need to make our chances pay. Torres will play up front in an effort to do just that, and the ball is bobbling around in the box, and it has been saved by the goalkeeper, and it remains 0-0. And we are currently in second place. If we draw, we will be in second place on goal difference. We do need to make sure that we make the most of our opportunities today, that we score goals today, and it's not happening as yet. We're creating chances, again, not getting them on target. This is a big worry. I think that it's not working out as I wanted it to. This rotated team should be beating Santa Clara very easily. I'm not sure why it is so difficult at the moment to beat teams. We looked good against Celtic, but when we're playing in the league, the last couple of games, we have not looked good at all. I think I need to shout at the boys and demand more. This is not good enough. It's not acceptable. They're not really in the game. Mangas is a problem, and we probably need to deal with him at half-time. But at half-time, it's 0-0. Oh, we do have one last set piece before the break. It's nodded on. It's into the side netting. It remains 0-0 at half-time. The boys are going to be shouted at again, and they're not going to like it. And yeah, I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. A number of players are not pulling their weight. Torres is having a very poor game. And what I might do, actually, is switch Torres and Zollis over. Let's put Zollis up front, and let's put Torres on the wing. Let's see if that makes a difference to how they perform. And let's get on with this game. Let's try and win this football match. And we need to do something better than we're doing. We're still creating chances. We're still dominating possession. We're just not scoring goals. This is what has been happening over the last few weeks. Really, Santa Clara are not giving us anything of a headache at all, and I think it's time now to make some changes and to take some players off who are playing badly. And so we have made some changes, and I think I will also go very attacking now. I think we need to get this goal, and somehow somebody needs to put this ball in the net. There is another corner. It's bouncing around. It's hit the post. It remains 0-0, and I don't know what to do. I'm going to berate them. This is not acceptable. This is not good enough in a game we are absolutely dominating, and we need to be better. It's just one of those phases in the game, I think. I can't think of anything else I can do. We are totally taking them to the cleaners. I think it's to do with morale. We're just not on our game, and there's another chance that is straight to the goalkeeper. We've had 20 chances almost, and we have just done nothing with them. And one of the big problems is, of course, is I am playing wingers as our forward, and they're not natural wingers, and I guess you can't expect them to be natural goal scorers in the striker position. But here's a chance, another chance. It's hit the crossbar. He is offside though. We are totally dominating the game, and I need to demand more from them, but I can't at the moment. It's greyed out, so I need to get this team back on its feet. Let's demand more. We are not doing good enough. This is a poor Santa Clara team, and we are not doing good enough, and we need to be doing better. It's not going to be, and unfortunately we are going to finish this episode in second place in the table. But we do have one last chance as Gedson flicks the ball in. Was he pushed then? And I thought that he was actually taken out of the game there, and that should have been a penalty. But we are building again from the back, and here's Fernandez looking for Mendy. Fernandez hasn't had a great game. Nobody has had a great game. In fact, they're all around 6.5 and 6.6. Ball into the middle. That must be a penalty, referee. He was taken out there for sure. And now that must be a penalty in the dying minutes of the game. Are we going to get a penalty? The referee is checking with VAR. Did he dive? No, the penalty is awarded. This is the last chance of the game, and it is going to be, I'm not sure who it will be. It's going to be Rodriguez with the penalty, and it has just about gone in. We've got a centre back there taking the penalty, but he has made it Benfica 1, Santa Clara 0. I'm going to go back to a more positive way of playing. from this very attacking. We were very, very fortunate there. We have gone back to the top. We have been very lucky in that game. It does show that these young boys are not capable of making us into champions. And I'm going to say well done. Let's keep morale up. It was a rotated team. It was a young team. They didn't play particularly well, but we've won 6 out of 6. And I can't really ask for more than that. And so it's just getting harder and harder. We've had 2 1-0 victories in the league, and that doesn't look pretty. I think we need to be doing a lot better than we're actually doing. We have a lot of tough fixtures coming up. We have to play Porto in the league. We are playing Sporting CP in the league. Those are going to be tough games. We're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. And it just goes on and on and on. This is one of the most difficult saves that I've ever had to do. Despite results on the pitch, the stuff off the pitch keeps getting worse and worse, and morale at the moment is not good among the players, and I think we saw that today. And that's it for this video. If you are brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling up above me. What is my mood like? I guess if you were to look at that, you'd have to say I'd be a happy manager, but I'm not really. I'd say I'm content. And all that remains to be said now is take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.